to the second channel, man, and the beat from the intro is provided by Beats by Booth. There's a link in the description below that's going to take you to downloadpads.com. From there you can find this particular beat tape because I'm live streaming it, and get the contact information via Twitter. And if you holler at them to get some beats, tell them I sent you. But anyway, on to today's reply, and it's to that Busta Rhymes featuring Eminem, that Calm Down. And you know what, I kind of knew what to expect going into it. I mean, you got two very comical, diverse type rappers and shit in Busta Rhymes and Eminem coming together. And given that Busta Rhymes have been on that real hip-hop type shit as of lately, kind of figured what the beat was going to sound like too. I really expected a bunch of crazy flows, crazy sub-personalities, a bunch of crazy stuff all together, you dig? But I was hoping for the song to be good, but ultimately kind of disappointed her. I mean, let's face it, Busta Rhymes for his entire career, he's never been like a lyricist by any means. But yet Eminem, he really disappointed with his verse, man. And it's one thing that I've seen that he continues to do for a little minute. He always talking about, I should take you back to when I was doing this. Do you remember when I was this hot? Do you remember I was this good? That type of shit. Like, man, he's so focused on who he was in the past instead of progressing to where he needs to be now, getting back to that level. Because he's far from that. I mean, he did say some crazy stuff in his verse, but nothing really lyrical. Not really a great punchline you can sit back and laugh at. It was just something that you like, cool, that's Eminem just spit. And then also the beat was super generic, you dig? I understand what they trying to do with it, man, but ultimately could have had a better one. And I know the hate mail is going to roll in with this one because one, Eminem's on it, and a lot of people feel as though he's the greatest rapper to ever do it and shit. And anything that Eminem raps on, he's doing the best out of anybody and shit. All that is bullshit. It's one thing people gotta understand. Not everything someone drops is the greatest shit that they did up to this day. Overall, I wouldn't recommend the song, but I do want to hear them to continue to collaborate together because they got similar styles somewhat. And maybe if they continue to work at it, then maybe they'll drop some decent songs, man. But this one right here, not so much. But anyway, on to Ask, Download, Pass. And my homie Shane says, people need to quit using the term genius. Like, people use it too loosely. And you know, I feel you, but there's a lot of terms and such, especially in hip-hop, that people use way too much out of context, way too loosely, like underrated and shit like that. Like, pretty much anybody that you have emotional attachment with, you always see people start throwing these words around, especially when they deliver subpar performances. Or if they deliver a performance they feel as though should have been great, that people should say that this is the greatest song ever, but yet it never reaches that level. That's something that as the hip-hop community and as people all the way around need to stop doing. And wish this was a comment towards that Kanye West with people saying that he's a damn genius and shit. He's nothing like a fucking genius. Like, he's really more like a visionary, I guess, because he pretty much took music and changed it to where it is today off of what he saw could happen. Genius? Not so much. He would actually have to be able to make music physically instead of paying other people to do music for him to be considered to be in the category of genius. And my homie Dante says that Wale album from last year was the best album of last year because he finally got a chance to sit down and listen to it. And you know, for anybody who hasn't heard that Wale album, man, you are completely missing out. Like, the song 88 alone shits on pretty much every album that was dropped last year. Like, that's one that you definitely need to go ahead and peep out. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.